it's the real underdog here, and so basically, right, I'm an avid Colts fan, if you can't tell. And so today's video, we are watching the tragic story of Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, in his first 3 seasons in this league, took an unholy amount of punishment. I've never seen anything quite like the
so much
punishment he
punishment.
took.
Literally every game there was a hit that he would take that would make you think, oh, this guy's got to be in pain.
And the only way I see out is to no longer play football. It's taken my joy of this game away, and sorry.
Bruce Arians has coached some of the most dominant quarterbacks to ever lace him up in Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger. And yet, Arians believes none of these guys could even touch Andrew Luck's greatness.
Number one.
Really? Best quarterback you ever coached?
I only had him as a rookie, but he was unbelievable.
But opinions like these will forever keep Colt fans up at night, because Luck never had the chance to reach his full potential. This is the tragic story of Andrew Luck's career. As the son of former NFL quarterback Oliver Luck, Andrew dealt with sky-high expectations before he was even old enough to start preschool. He spent his early years overseas, as his father was the general manager of 2 NFL Europe teams before becoming the league president. And that's where Jack Elway, who was John Elway's father and Stanford football's old head coach, made a bold declaration. He watched as a 3-year-old Andrew played with a football before declaring he might be a player. Joking or not, it was Luck's first football evaluation and a sign of big things to come. But the Lucks didn't return to the U.S. until Oliver took a job in Houston, and Andrew was now 10 or 11 years old. And thanks to Andrew's good genes and having grown up around the sport, it didn't take long for Jack Elway to look like a prophet. By the time Luck was a sophomore in high school, he had become the starting quarterback. That year on the gridiron, Luck showed off his unique combination of strength and athleticism by throwing for over 1,500 yards and rushing for 700 more. As he continued to grow into his body, Luck also evolved as a leader. Breaking high school football norms, he was named team captain as just a junior, a testament to him being mature beyond his years. And with the added pressure from being the face of the team, Luck rose to the occasion by throwing for just under 3,000 yards and 27 touchdowns, while adding 714 yards on the ground. That season was his national coming out party, as he was named to the Rivals.com All-American team for juniors. Top recruiting services, Rival, ESPN, and Scout all had him ranked as a top 7 quarterback in the nation. Luck was as well-rounded of a recruit as they come. His high school coach said, "Andrew is the ultimate team player. He has lots of talent, but shies away from taking the credit. He's a very humble person who always puts team before anything else." Not only did Luck shine on the field, but he also excelled off of it. Luck had a perfect GPA and finished off as the co-valedictorian of his graduating class. Colleges across the country were desperate to get his attention, but Luck wasn't focused on the same thing as most top recruits. It wasn't about who was the biggest powerhouse program or who had the best chance of getting him to the NFL. Instead, he prioritized choosing a school that had strong academics. So with that in mind, Luck narrowed down his list to schools like Stanford, Northwestern, Purdue, Rice, and Virginia. And the summer going into his senior year, he committed to Stanford. As then Stanford head coach Jim Harbaugh put it, Andrew embodies the balance and excellence of the Stanford scholar athlete. But being a quarterback headed to a Power 5 school, Luck now had all eyes on him, as opposing teams were determined to knock him down a notch. Nonetheless, he capped off his high school career by throwing for over 2,500 yards and rushing for 671. In 3 seasons, Luck finished with 7,139 passing yards, 53 passing touchdowns, and 2,085 rushing yards. When he arrived in Palo Alto, he was full of confidence and ready to turn around a struggling Stanford program. Except his new coaches weren't sold on him just yet. In his freshman year, Luck was forced to watch from the sidelines as he was redshirted. And for someone who has always been hailed as the golden child, it was the first time Luck's life wasn't picture perfect. This motivated him to go that much harder in practice and during the ensuing offseason. When Luck returned to campus for his redshirt freshman year, the coaches had no choice but to do something they hadn't done in nearly 15 years. As just a freshman, they named him the starter. He took over a team that was coming off 7 consecutive losing seasons, and during that stretch had a 25-55 record. So he shocked everyone by going out and leading Stanford to an 8-5 record, as he racked up 2,929 yards of total offense, the 5th most in program history. The next season, he and his team built off this momentum, finishing at number 4 in the nation with a 12-1 record and an Orange Bowl victory. Luck broke John Elway's old school record for most touchdown passes in a season with 32, and set another for most most yards of total offense with 3,791. In the process, he was named Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year and finished as the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. He still had 2 years of eligibility left, but Luck had already done enough to be a top draft pick in the 2011 NFL Draft if he wanted. However, he did the unthinkable by deciding to put the NFL and millions of dollars on hold to complete his degree. Ahead of his redshirt junior campaign, Luck was projected to be the #1 pick in the next draft. So, in other words, he had a target on his back. Despite getting everybody's best shot, Luck was still named Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year and finished as the runner-up for the Heisman again, becoming just the 4th player ever to finish second twice. He set a school record for career total offense with 10,387 yards and broke another of John Elway's records, with 82 career touchdown passes. Luck completely turned the Stanford program around, as he became its all-time leader in total wins and win percentage. And with his degree now in hand, there was officially nothing left for Luck to accomplish, so he declared for the 2012 draft. Heading into the draft, Luck was universally viewed as the unquestioned top prospect. He had the ideal size at 6'4", 234 pounds, to go with superb athletic traits that allowed him to run a 4.67 40-yard dash and have a 36-inch vertical. Combine those measurables with poise, leadership skills, and his winning nature, and you get someone who seems like they were made in a test tube. Scouts and experts even went as far as labeling him the best quarterback prospect they had ever seen, on the same level as Peyton Manning or John Elway.
Been doing this since 1979. He's the highest rated quarterback since John Elway in 1983.
Fans wanted him so badly that during the prior NFL season, they rooted for their team to lose and wanted them to suck for Luck. He was such an elite prospect that after a 2-14 season, the Colts decided to move on from their franchise icon, Peyton Manning, who missed the previous season due to a neck injury.
I never viewed it as replacing Peyton. I just viewed it as an opportunity to play quarterback in the NFL. You know, it just so happens, one of the greats of all time was here before me.
And drafted Andrew Luck with the first overall pick.
In the 2012 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Andrew Luck.
And from the moment they drafted him, the Colts saw Luck as their new starting quarterback and the face of the franchise. No rookie in recent memory faced higher expectations to shine from day one than he did. And this played into people jumping on Luck after the Colts started the season 2-3. And to make matters worse, he had thrown just as many interceptions as touchdowns, with 7 of each. Following an embarrassing Week 5 35-9 loss to the Jets, where Luck only completed half of his passes to go with 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, the overrated chatter started to get much louder. With that noise and Indy's season on the verge of falling apart, Luck knew he was rapidly approaching do-or-die time. So he went out and led his team to 4 straight wins while only throwing 2 interceptions. The game seemed to slow down for him as Luck was finally starting to look like himself again. He had total control of his offense, and no moment was too big for him. No better example encapsulates this than in Week 13 against the Lions, when the Colts trailed by 12 with just over 2.5 minutes left. After Luck threw a touchdown and the Colts got the ball back, he drove them down the field again before facing a 4th down from the Detroit 14-yard line with 4 seconds remaining.
Final seconds. Luck steps. Luck, a little flip. Donnie Avery. He's in! Touchdown!
With the game on the line and the Colts battling for a playoff spot, Luck calmly stepped up and threw the game-winning touchdown as time expired. Not only was it a massive win for Indy, but it also gave Luck his 8th win of the season, which set a record for a rookie quarterback drafted first overall. And it was his 5th game-winning drive, which tied the rookie quarterback record. Luck started all 16 games that season as he led the Colts to an 11-5 record and a playoff berth. Even though they fell to the Ravens in the wild-card round, it was insane that Luck's arrival resulted in a 9-win turnaround from the prior season. And in the process, he broke the league record for most passing yards by a rookie with 4,374 and was named to the Pro Bowl. It was an extremely exciting start to Luck's career, but there was still room for growth as he struggled with turnovers. His 18 interceptions was only 1 off the league high. Going into the 2013 season, this served as motivation and a point of emphasis for Luck. He had never had a turnover problem before in college and wanted to prove that this was nothing more than a fluke. Luck's season got off to an ideal start as he led the Colts to 3 wins in 4 games with only 2 interceptions. This also gave him a 14-6 record as a starter, which tied John Elway for best record through 20 games as the #1 pick quarterback. Luck kept the good times rolling, leading the Colts to another 11-5 record and a playoff berth. Not only was it a successful regular season for the team, but also for Luck personally. He achieved his mission by raising his completion percentage by 6% and cutting his interceptions in half. Luck also set an NFL record for most passing yards in his first 2 seasons with 8,196. Then, in Indy's wildcard matchup with the Chiefs, Luck showed that anything was possible with him under center. After the Colts fell behind by 28 points, he orchestrated the second biggest comeback in NFL playoff history and largest to end in regulation, all thanks to his 433 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Despite losing in the next round, Luck's iconic performance against the Chiefs cemented his place as one of the next faces of the league.
Andrew Luck out of the gun again. He will give it to Donald Brown. Donald fights his way. Now ball's loose. Luck picks it up, and Luck scores!
The 2014 season provided more of the same from him as he led Indy to its 3rd straight 11-5 record and playoff appearance. On his way to making his 3rd consecutive Pro Bowl, Luck managed to elevate his game to another level, throwing for 4,761 yards, which was the 3rd most in the league, and a league-high 40 touchdowns. This broke Peyton Manning's franchise record for single-season passing yards and made Luck just the 8th player in NFL history to throw for 40 or more touchdowns in a season. In the postseason, Luck led the Colts all the way to the AFC Championship before falling to the Patriots in the infamous deflate game.
I know my play was not up to par for where it needs to be to give you a chance to beat a quality team like them. It's a great atmosphere. It's a fun place to play.
I was at my aunt's house.
But they certainly had our number tonight.
At this point in his career, Luck looked superhuman, and the sky was the limit for him. There seemed to be no way he wouldn't go on to win multiple Super Bowls and become a Hall of Famer. But while Luck continued to progress with each season, the same couldn't be said for those around him, specifically the players who were supposed to be protecting him. In his first 3 seasons, Luck was sacked 130 times and took countless hits. Taking consistent beatings is the last thing any team should want for its developing star quarterback.
There's only so many QBs that you can put your hands on them and you're still looking down the field.
These numbers should have led to sirens going off in the Colts front office. And yet, Indy didn't use a first-round pick on an offensive lineman in any of the 3 drafts following Luck's, and only drafted 1 in the 2nd round. And that 2nd rounder was Jack Mewhort, who was out of the league after his rookie contract. In fact, they even traded away their 2014 first-round pick for Trent Richardson, who went on to be one of the biggest busts in league history. Not only did the Colts ignore this glaring issue, but they also pretty much whiffed on the majority of their draft picks during this stretch. The writing was on the wall for an incoming disaster, but nobody seemed to notice it. They were too distracted by Luck carrying his team to the playoffs year after year, until the 2015 season changed everything. After a 1-2 start, Luck was forced to miss 2 games for the first time in his career due to an injured right shoulder. He returned in Week 6, but Indy's problems were far from solved. Despite Luck coming back, the Colts only won 1 of their next 4 games. And following their Week 9 matchup with the Broncos, disaster struck. 2 days after the game, it was announced that Luck had suffered a lacerated kidney and partially torn abdominal muscle. The injuries kept him out for the remainder of the season, and without their savior under center, the Colts failed to make the playoffs. If they weren't already aware, this showed Indy just how much Luck meant to their success. So in that offseason, they signed him to a 6-year, $140 million extension, with $87 million guaranteed. The deal made Luck the highest-paid player in the league. Although it was highly deserved, it created a salary cap issue that would prevent the Colts from finding him much-needed help in free agency. While Luck entered the 2016 season motivated to prove he was worth every penny of his new deal, he was a lamb to the slaughter. In 15 games that year, he was sacked 41 times, just 1 off the league high. And this lack of protection even led him to suffering the first concussion of his pro career. After the season, Luck underwent surgery to repair an issue with his throwing shoulder that had been bothering him since 2015. This forced him to be held out of training camp and the preseason. The issue got even more worrisome once it was announced that he would also have to miss some regular season action. Well, some turned into all, and Luck in 2017 didn't take a single snap. During the season, he even went to Europe to try to fix his shoulder that just wouldn't seem to properly heal. But Luck's shoulder ultimately did get better, and he was ready for the 2018 season opener. Not having played a game in 616 days, nobody knew exactly what to expect of him that year. Surrounded by uncertainty and even doubt, Luck led the Colts to a 10-6 record and their first playoff berth in 4 years. He finished 5th in the league in passing yards with 4,593 and 2nd in passing touchdowns with 39, on his way to making his 4th Pro Bowl and winning Comeback Player of the Year.
Appreciate it. This is a treat. I'm used to coming in second at most award ceremonies, so to receive something is nice.
Andrew Luck was officially back, or so it seemed.
There were a couple times I was, I don't know if I want to play a football game. I don't know if I can play football again.
The following season, during Indy's third preseason game, in a scene that looked like it was from a movie, news leaked that Luck would be retiring. The sports world was completely shocked, especially Colts fans who booed him as he left the field. Luck was only 29 years old and was coming off a season in which he looked like his dominant former self. But at his official press conference, he talked about how all the injuries and rehab processes had sucked the fun out of the game for him. Luck wanted to move on with his life and felt he would be happier without football in it.
I've been in this cycle of injury, pain, rehab, and I felt stuck in it. It's taken my joy of this game away.
While the sports world was left stunned with Luck's decision, one thing was for certain: the Colts let him down. From the offensive line, allowing him to be sacked 174 times in 86 games, to 23 of his 33 career losses coming when the Indy defense allowed 29 or more points, Luck never had the help he deserved. And to this day, the Colts still haven't recovered from the hole Luck left. They've had 6 different starting quarterbacks in the 4 seasons since his retirement, and just drafted Anthony Richardson in hopes that he can finally be their answer at quarterback. Andrew Luck will forever be one of the biggest what-if stories in NFL history.
There it is, folks. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is the new channel, I guess you could say, but thank you.